Welcome to the first session of the Marketing Management course. In this session, we will discuss the principles of marketing, the difference between sales and marketing, and the marketing mix. By the end of this session, you will be able to define marketing, state the difference between sales and marketing, and identify the 7 P's of marketing and how the marketing mix works for your business. There are several definitions of marketing, and when you ask anyone what marketing means, you would hear several different things. If you take a minute or just a couple of seconds to reflect what marketing means to you, what speaks to you when you hear of marketing? There is an approved definition of marketing by the Marketing Association. And marketing can be defined as the activity or set of activities and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for your customers. Marketing can also be defined as the process of getting the right products and services to the right customers at the right place and price using the right promotions and publicity. Marketing can simply be defined as satisfying your customers profitably. And that for me is one of the essence of what marketing is. Marketing is really about getting the emotions you want from your target customers. When you think of marketing, you have to understand what are the ways you want those that are seeing whatever communication you've put out there. How do you want them to feel? Marketing is about getting the emotions from your customers and then getting them to do what you want, which is to buy from you. Essentially, sales or selling in itself is a contract between the buyer and the seller of a selected good and services for value or compensation. So essentially, selling is the last step in the chain of marketing activities. So most times, and I'm sorry, I'm sure some of you listening to me might have worked in the banking. You hear bankers are the ones that typically say, we're going out for marketing. This is wrong. They're actually making a sales call. And a sales call is that visit where you are attempting to convince a prospective buyer to exchange a service or a good which you have for money or value. And value in itself doesn't necessarily have to be cash. Value could be an exchange of goods. Value can be an exchange of goods for a service or vice versa. The essential thing is that as you are giving away a product or service which you have developed yourself and you are giving it away for an exchange which is not necessarily cash, it can be value. This is when you can essentially say a sales or a sale has been done. Selling is simply that part of marketing concerned with persuading customers to acquire the product or service of an organization. So let's look at some of the differences between marketing and sales. When you look at marketing has to do with studying customers and their needs and wants in a defined market segment, while sales focuses on making the exchange happen. This is the exchange which I described when I was defining what sales is. Marketing is concerned with measuring company image and customer satisfaction on an ongoing basis, which basically means that those in the marketing are the ones that design the different mechanisms that allows a company to measure how customers perceive them or develop the strategy for how they ensure that customers perceive the personality of the organization or company. While sales strive to give customers the best solutions, a salesperson will always strive to get you to enjoy the best solution. So I'll give a typical example. If you go to buy a car and the only available color is gray, but your preferred color is black, a salesperson will attempt to get you to wait a few days or even convince you to try to help you to change the color of your preferred car to black. Essentially, selling is simply that part of marketing concerned with persuading customers to acquire the product or service for your organization or any business. It's important here that we also distinguish clearly the difference between sales and marketing. Oftentimes, people use them as one and the same, but they are not one and the same. Marketing has to do with studying customers and their needs and wants in defined market segments, while sales is concerned with that exchange, making the exchange happen, the exchange for value or for money or for the product or the service. Okay, now let's look at the P's of marketing or the marketing mix. I'm sure this is something that we are all very familiar with. So I'm going to let us play a very little game for just 30 seconds. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to write down the P's of marketing that you are familiar with. Are you ready? 30 seconds. Okay, so your 30 seconds is up. Now, let me tell you what the P's of marketing is all about. And if you have anything down on that piece of paper with you that has product, pricing, promotion, and place, then you're absolutely correct. Marketing mix is a unique blend of products, pricing, promotion, and distribution of the place, targeting a specific group of people. And of course, we have the expanded marketing mix, which consists of people, process, and physical environment. And of course, I'll be sharing a lot more about the expanded marketing mix that makes the P's of marketing seven, the 7 P's of marketing. So we start with product, which is the first P and the most significant one. Because without a product, you don't even have a business, you don't even have the customers, you have nothing. The product must meet a defined need. You must have established a demand by testing the market. You must take that product and put it in the market and see how people respond to it and see whether there's an actual need for it. If there's no need for it, or if the need that you have established does not really meet the need of the target audience, you then know that there's a lot more work you have to do. You must consider your USP, which is your unique selling proposition. These are the clear benefits and features that differentiate your product from your competitors. Your USP can change as business evolves. I think it's a good time for us to play another game. Just take a few seconds and think about what is unique about your product that differentiates your product from other people in the marketplace. Are you ready? Okay, the second P is the place. And the place essentially is where the product is sold to the customers, the location where sales are made. And of course, the intermediaries also can act as the place, such as the wholesalers, the resellers, the sales agents. How do you essentially reach the end users, or the place where you reach the end users is what the place is. And this has, in some essence, changed significantly because of the virtual marketplace, where the place itself is virtual. You can just go online to some of the popular marketplace portals we have today. You can go there and you can see that as time has evolved, the kind of experience that customers feel when they go on those platforms continue to become more personal, continues to be customized to suit the type of customers that you are trying to capture. Now, another P is price. Now, this generates income and, more importantly, profit. All other elements of the marketing mix incur costs apart from this P, which is the price. In price, you must understand the relationship between price, cost, and profit. Now, for the cost, you understand that your cost is what it takes to make all of the products, or all that it takes to put your service, to offer your service. So what it costs to make, including the time, the materials, and all of your overheads, that is what your cost is. And your price is what you can charge in the marketplace based on the value and cost. And to get your profit, you simply deduct your cost from your price to get your profit. This is something that is important and you must factor into your marketing mix. Now, the final P of the four primary P's of marketing is promotion. Now, in promotion, you must consider who your customers are and how best to reach them. If you do not reach them, you will not make that sale possible. And for you to be able to reach them, you have to look at market segmentation. And this is where you divide your overall target market into smaller sub-markets made up of the people with same needs that helps you to target them in a more specific and in the right way. So let's look at the sub-markets for promotion. You can use the following to profile and divide your consumer market. You can use behavior. How often do they use it? How do they use it? What kind of impressions? And how convenience comes in place. These are some of the attributes as it concerns behavior. Character is also one of the things you can use to profile. What kind of lifestyle? What kind of personality? Are they trendsetters or are they followers? These are some other attributes as it relates to character. And finally, socioeconomic factors. What profession? How much money do these people earn? What location, geographical location are they? In Lagos, for instance, if you are targeting high-end customers, you will know that you'll be looking at those that reside in the high bar area of Banana Island, in some parts of Lekki and Victoria Island. You want to also understand their buying patterns, their loyalty, and of course, their age and gender. Now, when you are then looking at segmenting the business market as part of the promotion, you could consider some of the following: the size of the company, the industry type, and of course, the location itself is very significant in understanding where this market is. So, market segmentation helps you to streamline and target more specifically those that will be needing your products, and then it becomes easier for you to get them. Now let's talk about the expanded marketing mix. Remember, I had shared this with you: people, process, and physical environment. So we start with people. People essentially is about how you manage your customers. It's about customer service. Customer service is an important aspect of your marketing mix. How customers are treated, how they perceive you, and how you treat them is one significant aspect of how people would always determine whether or not they will buy from you. So it means that your people and those that you put in charge of managing your customers must understand that they must come with a smile, they must be warm, courteous, and put the customer first. Customer is truly king. Now let's talk about process. Process is another important aspect of the marketing mix. And the process has to do with how you handle your customer complaints, how you get the goods or the products that you are offering to your consumers or your customers. These things can determine whether or not a customer will come back to you. And I'll give you an instance. I once wanted to buy a wristwatch on one of the popular online platforms. I had paid for that watch, and on the day the watch was supposed to be delivered to me, I received more than 6 calls from the delivery rider describing how he would get to me. I even had to speak in 2 different languages to help him to understand it. Of course, this started becoming uncomfortable for me. After several hours, I received a final call where he told me he was now outside. On getting outside, I was still looking for him, so I had to place another call. When I placed that call, it turns out that he was the scruffy young man that was standing beside me holding a black nylon. So I approached him and told him I was the one buying the watch. And he was like, "Now you the buyer?" I said, "Yes." So he handed me the black nylon. I said, "No, please open it yourself." So we proceeded to open it and brought out yet another nylon, which I then, by this time, had to collect from him, opened it up, and I was completely disappointed that this was not what I saw on the online platform. I ended up returning that wristwatch, made a complaint, and received my money back after 2 days. Now, the entire process and experience which I had with this platform made me to ensure not only will I never go back there, but I will tell all my friends and family never to go to that platform. So the process through which you engage customers and customers engage you must be well thought out, as this is what ensures that your customers are repeat buyers from you. The final one is the physical environment. And of course, the physical environment is the ambience of where you sell from. So I'll give another example, a clothing store. There are some clothing stores which you will go into, and the treatment which they will give you, the welcome. In fact, some of them would even give you champagne while you are thinking, give you a glass of water, give you a glass of juice, make you feel welcome, suggest things to you. That treatment and that experience definitely will ensure that customers continue to come back. You must think through how you want to engage your customers using the marketing mix. This helps you to truly have a robust plan for how customers will engage you and how you engage them. We've now come to the end of session 1. I hope you enjoyed this session. With this session, we've been able to look at the definition of marketing. We've been able to look at the difference between sales and marketing. We've also identified the 7 P's of marketing. Let's go to the next session.